Today's dinner is the best 1 p.m. pasta again. We can really not get enough of this one. It is so good. First, chop up 12 ounces of bacon. Cook that at a medium to low temperature for now. Then grab about 1.5 pounds of chicken and cube that up into bite-sized pieces. Then grab some ranch seasoning and some Slap Your Mama seasoning. Season that chicken really well with both of those. Then toss it up really well and then add about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Toss it up again, and now you're going to set this chicken aside for a bit. And while that bacon is still cooking, you're going to shred up your cheese. You are going to need 2 to 3 cups of cheese. You can do whatever you want. We are doing cheddar cheese, and I'm not quite using all of this either. And once that bacon was almost finished cooking, I am adding a diced onion to mine. And once that bacon is nice and crispy, you're going to remove it from the pan. Make sure to keep all the bacon grease in there, and you're going to cook that chicken in your bacon grease. I cooked my chicken 3 minutes on both sides, and then I tossed it up around 30 seconds to a minute or so just to make sure everything's nice and crispy. Then remove that chicken from the pan and then set this aside for later as well. Then grab a whole carton of low sodium chicken broth, and you're going to add that in. So that's about 4 cups of chicken broth, and then 1 pound of whatever kind of pasta you want. This one is the best one. And then I'm seasoning it again with the ranch seasoning and the Slap Your Mama seasoning. Put that heat to high and then let it boil. You'll cook that pasta for around 8 to 10 minutes until the liquid is all absorbed and the noodles are about cooked. And then about 1 cup of heavy cream and just toss up, and now you're going to add your cheese. And make sure to turn down the heat when you're adding that heavy cream and the cheeses, and it should melt right away. And now you're going to add everything back into that pasta. Get that bacon from earlier and then that chicken, and just mix everything up really well. This bacon ranch cheddar chicken pasta is truly so amazing. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Tonight's dinner is one of those dinners I could make every single night, and it just never gets old. It is so amazing. First, I'm taking these little steaks, and then I'm putting a little oil on those and some salt and pepper. Then grab a large pot and then fill that up with some water. Set that on high and then get that water boiling for your angel hair pasta. Then grab about 4 garlic cloves and then chop those up. And now I'm cooking those steaks about 3 minutes on each side to get more of a medium rare. By now that water should be boiling, so go ahead and throw your pasta in. Then once those steaks are done cooking, just pull those off and you're going to let those rest. Then you're going to deglaze that pan. I'm just using some chicken broth, but if you want, you can use beef broth. This is just what I had. I added about 1/4 cup of that, and you're going to try and get all those brown bits off. And then I'm adding 6 tablespoons of butter. Then throw that garlic in as well. And my heat is more at a medium to low here because I didn't want to burn anything. And now I added some red pepper flakes and some Italian seasoning. And now I'm adding a couple cups of chopped broccoli to this. You're going to cook this for at least 5 minutes or so. And then I'm adding 2 more tablespoons of butter before throwing those noodles in. Just toss that up really well in that butter. And then you're going to top it with just a little bit of Parmesan cheese and red pepper flakes. Then grab those steaks and set them right on top. My entire family loves this one. I hope you guys give it a try. Tonight is another really easy dinner that is so delicious and really easy to make. First, grab a package of stew meat and add a little oil to that, and then some steak seasoning. Toss that up well, and then grab a large skillet and put it on high heat, and you're going to sear this meat. And if you want, you can skip this step, but I think searing it makes it a little more tender and more flavorful. Now you're going to grab your crock pot. I'm adding 1 package of these baby potatoes. Make sure you wash those first and then throw them in your crock pot. Then grab that stew meat and add it in there as well. I am also adding 1 package of onion soup mix. Now you can add some regular butter here and just some Italian seasoning and garlic powder, but I am going to use this garlic and herb butter. You're just going to put that right in there. Cooked mine on high for about 3.5 hours, and then threw some green beans in for another hour. This dinner is such a great dinner for busy nights. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Let's make dinner for when the kids get out of school. First, I'm taking a 3-pound bag of yellow potatoes, and I'm just cubing mine up into bite-sized pieces. You're going to add that to a large pot and then fill it with some water and then let those boil. And then we're moving to the pork chops. Grab however many you need and then add those to a baking dish. You can really season however you want. I'm doing this original Mrs. Dash. And then I'm taking some French onion dip and putting a couple tablespoons of that over the pork chops and then just smoothing it out. And then I'm topping mine with some French fried onions. You're going to bake these at 350 degrees for 35 to 45 minutes, and then I flip mine to broil for about a minute. Then once your potatoes are fork tender, just like this, you're going to drain that water. Then to a large sheet pan, I'm adding a few tablespoons of olive oil. Then just add those potatoes to that sheet pan and then toss them up really well. And then you can season them however you want. I'm using this garlic and herb seasoning and some Slap Your Mama seasoning. You're going to bake these at 450 degrees for about 20 minutes, and then you're going to take them out, flip them over, and bake another 20 minutes. They should be nice and crispy when they come out. And then for my veggie, we just made some air fried green beans. I cooked those at 400 degrees for around 12 minutes or so with some salt and pepper and a little oil. This dinner was so delicious. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Tonight I made one of the best one-pan dinners I have ever made. First, grab a pound of bacon and just chop that up. Now add that to a large skillet and put it on medium heat and start cooking your bacon. Now to a large bowl, I added 1.5 pounds of chicken all cubed up and just season that really well however you want. These are the seasonings that I'm using. Just toss that up really well, and now you're going to add a few tablespoons of cornstarch to this and then toss it up again. And while that bacon is still cooking, I'm going to shred up my cheese. I'm shredding up this whole block, but you'll only use around half of it, maybe just a little bit more. Once that bacon was almost cooked through, I did add half a diced onion to mine. I think onion and bacon go so good together. Once that onion is translucent and that bacon is done cooking, take it out of your pan and let it drain in some paper towels. Now leave that bacon grease in your pan and start cooking that chicken. I cooked mine about 3 minutes on both sides. Then I kind of tossed it up for 30 seconds once I've done that until it's nice and crispy. Now remove that chicken from the pan. Now to the same pan, you're going to add this whole carton of chicken broth and then 1 pound of whatever kind of pasta you want, and set your heat to more of a medium-high heat. Then once it starts boiling, you're going to cook it for around 8 to 9 minutes until that chicken broth is absorbed and the noodles are cooked through. Now lower the heat and add 1 cup of heavy cream, or you could use half and half. And now start adding that cheese. I added around a cup and then stirred it up and then added another cup. This should melt pretty fast. Then you're going to grab that bacon from earlier and add the bacon and onion in there, toss it up a little bit, and then add your chicken in there. Then just mix it all up again. This dinner was so incredible. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Tonight's dinner was absolutely amazing. I made a garlic butter shrimp pasta, and this really didn't take much time to make either. You'll only need a few ingredients for this as well. First, get a pot of water boiling for that pasta. Then grab a really large skillet and just put a tablespoon or so of olive oil in that, and then 3 tablespoons of butter. Then once that water is boiling, you're going to throw in that angel hair pasta, and once that butter is melted, you're going to throw in your shrimp. Just cook this for a minute on medium temperature, and then you're going to season it however you want. I'm just doing some salt, pepper, and a little smoked paprika. Then just keep tossing this up, and these don't take long at all to cook. You're just going to cook those until they're nice and pink, just like this. Then grab a couple more tablespoons of butter and add them to that pan. Then I'm adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of minced garlic to this, and you can definitely use fresh garlic here. After that cooks a minute, you're going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. Mix up again, and then I'm adding around 1 cup of freshly shredded Parmesan cheese, and it won't take long at all for that cheese to melt. And you are going to save about a cup of your pasta water, and once that cheese is melted, you're going to add that pasta water in slowly. Just keep stirring it up. And then I did season a little bit more here, and then you're going to add your cooked pasta to this. Just toss that up really well. Then I added a little bit more Parmesan cheese to the top of it. You're going to add that cooked shrimp right on top, and then I'm adding a little more Parmesan and then some parsley. This was such a simple and fast dinner to make, and it tasted so good. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Another easy, delicious crockpot dinner because my kids yet again have sports tonight. First, I'm grabbing a 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and I'm going to start cooking that. And if you want, you can go up to 2 pounds here. Once that meat is about cooked, you're going to drain your grease and then just pretty much do it as you are making tacos. So I'm adding about 1.5 packs of some taco seasoning and then the water. And then once that's done, you're going to set it aside for a minute. And now you're going to grab your crock pot and add a bag of frozen shredded hash browns. Then about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cups of sour cream, a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, and I do not drain mine. And then a can of the spicy nacho soup, or you can just use the cheese soup, or you can just use cream of chicken. And then you're going to grab your ground beef and add that in as well, and just mix it up really well. And you're going to grab whatever kind of cheese you want with this. I'm doing 8 ounces of Colby Jack cheese. Shred this up and then add this to your crock pot as well, and then mix it up really well. You can cook this on high for just a couple of hours, or you can do a low around 4 to 5 hours. We love this taco potato casserole. I always top mine with a little bit of sour cream and usually some jalapenos too. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do. Today I made another really easy, really delicious one-pan dinner. First, grab a couple pounds of chicken and then whatever seasonings that you want to use. I'm using garlic powder, this garlic and herb seasoning, and some pepper. You're going to cut all the weird pieces off the chicken and then cut those into cubes. Season the chicken really well and then add a couple tablespoons of cornstarch to this and then mix it up really well. If you don't have cornstarch, you could just use some flour. I just like to get the chicken nice and crispy. Now grab a really large skillet and you're going to add a few tablespoons of butter to that and a little bit of oil. And then once that butter is melted, you're going to add that chicken in. Cook that chicken 2 to 3 minutes, and then you're going to flip this over so you have a nice brown crust on it, and then cook another 2 to 3 minutes. Then I just kind of stirred it around that last minute just to make sure it was all nice and golden like this. Then once you are satisfied with that cook on the chicken, you're just going to set this aside. Then to that same pan, you're going to add a couple more tablespoons of butter. Then I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. and just mixing that up until you can really smell that garlic. Then I'm adding this whole pound of Orzo to my pan, and I'm gonna toss this up in that butter for a minute or two. Then you're gonna add this whole container of chicken broth. Put this on a medium to high heat, and then once it starts to boil real good, you're gonna turn it down just a little bit and then let it simmer for around 5 minutes or so. Then it will look like this. And now you're gonna add around 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. And you can turn down the heat there too. And then I'm adding around a cup or so of some shredded Parmesan cheese. Just mix it up until everything is melted. And then I'm adding just a little bit of Italian seasoning to mine and some red pepper flakes. Now you're gonna throw that chicken in there, and then you are ready to serve. This dinner was absolutely amazing. It is my favorite dinner of the week so far. Tonight's dinner was my favorite meatball recipe. These are my Mongolian meatballs, and I highly recommend. The kids and I both love these. First, to a bowl, you're gonna add 1.5 cups of low sodium soy sauce. I did increase the sauce here just because I wanted them saucier. And now I'm adding 1 cup of dark brown sugar. Then add 1.5 cups of water to this, and then about 1.5 teaspoons of some ginger paste, and then a heaping teaspoon of minced garlic. Just mix this up a bit, and now you're gonna grab your cornstarch and add about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and whisk that together. And now just pour it all over those meatballs. You're gonna cook this on high for around 4 hours and then low around 6 hours. The longer they're in there, the better they taste. I'm just making some instant rice in the microwave for this one. That's how we usually serve ours, but you could serve it over egg noodles too. And if you don't think this sauce is thick enough for you, you could add a little more cornstarch slurry to this, but ours came out perfectly. I did slice up some green onions for the top of this. I hope you guys give this one a try. Let me know if you do.